today's video is going to be a breakdown on not only how to understand how aim assist works, but also how to like maximize using it. I'm sure you've been on, TikTok or Twitch and come across, a streamer and their aim is like super, like it shoots super straight. It's like sticky, and you're wondering like, oh man, like why does my aim assist work like that? Don't worry, follow the steps in this video. By the end of it, your aim is going to improve drastically. All right, the first thing I want to go over is, probably the most important thing is, going to be your settings. I'm going to go through and just point out a few like ones that I think that are important. I wouldn't copy and paste my settings by any means, just because the fact that I've been playing with these settings and I've been practicing with them. So if you copy and paste these, they might not feel good to you. The ones I will point out though, I would really work with those. Okay, so the first one's going to be your stick sensitivity. All right, this you don't want super high, because when you go to actually like find your target and aim, you're not going to be consistent. Lower that down. You don't want it super high. Most of the pros, like Biffle, I think they play on like a 6 or a 5. They're all like super low. All right, so sensitivity is the first one. All right, the next setting I want to go over is probably the most important one that I don't really see a lot of people actually talking about, is dead zones. Okay, so the dead zone minimum is going to be how much pressure you have to put on either your right or left stick, how much pressure you actually have to put on it for it to actually like register and quit going. All right, so if this, I have mine at 0 right now, you want it as low as possible, but if I put my stick minimum all the way up to say 75, okay, so see, I don't know if you can see this that good in the video here. So I have to push my stick. Hopefully you can see this in the video. Pushing and I'm pushing and I'm pushing and I'm pushing it. See, I'm almost all the way over, and my guy is barely starting to move. Okay, we don't want that. All right, we want the fastest response possible. Okay, so go back to dead zones here. I'm gonna put this all the way down. Mine I run at 0, so you can see the difference here. All right, now we go back in target range here. Now if I do the same thing, as soon as, see, I'm just barely putting any pressure on my stick, and look at, he's already starting to move. That's what we want. We want our left stick as responsive as possible. Okay, as responsive as possible without getting stick drift. All right, so I keep mine at 0. The maximum is going to be like how much pressure it takes to actually reach, the complete maximum. You want that 99. You want that to be as fast as possible. Now, the right stick, I have mine at 3. I didn't like mine at 0 just because I felt like I was like way too inconsistent. Like as it is right now, I have a control freak on here, but see, I barely push it and it still moves like right away. 0 was just like way too fast for me. I wasn't super inconsistent. I feel like my aim was super off. So that one I adjusted to 3. So the maximums you want maxed out, no matter what. Okay. The minimums you want down as low as possible that you feel comfortable with. Left one all the way to 0. Right one you might have to mess with a little bit. All right, the next thing I'm gonna go over after you got those 2 settings locked in is understanding like how the aim assist like really works in this game. If you're new to Call of Duty, which a lot of you guys probably aren't, Call of Duty has something that's called rotational aim assist. That's super strong, and you know what I mean. If you're on mouse and key, which I came from mouse and key, I switched over to controller like probably about 4 or 5 months ago. If you're still on mouse and key on this game, you're at a huge disadvantage, and I highly suggest if you want to be at least somewhat competitive, I would switch to a controller. Okay, but so rotational aim assist. All right, so it's only going to kick in when your left stick here, that's the stick you use to move the person back and forth. It's only really going to kick in when you're actually rotating the stick. All right, so to get it to actually stick and make it seem like it's like aimbot pretty much, is anytime you're aiming down sights, and you start shooting, you're gonna strafe back and forth. That's what's gonna get the aim assist to stick. All right, so here, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Anytime you're shooting, you want your guys strafing. Okay, so the reason for that is, of course, the rotation aim assist isn't going to kick in unless, you're moving that left stick, strafing back and forth. But another reason why you want to do that is because if you're shooting standing still, it's going to be a little bit harder to control, first of all. And second of all, when you're moving back and forth, you're a harder target to hit, okay? And in this game, probably 90% of people that are playing this game are controller players. So if they're at least somewhat into this game and like somewhat competitive, they're going to be watching videos just like this one. So they're going to understand how aim assist works, all right? So you don't want to be standing still, and you know, if you're standing still, that's such an easy kill for the other person, all right? So as long as, you know, you want to make yourself a smaller target to hit and a more elusive target to hit. So always strafing back and forth when you're shooting. Okay, the next thing I want to go over is what a lot of you guys are probably doing incorrectly is your right stick, you're using it too much to aim, okay? Now that sounds weird because you would think, okay, my right stick, that's what I use to, you know, look up and down and like aim down sights and look around. You would think that's what I use to aim with. That's incorrect, okay? Your right stick is only used for two things, all right? Number one, controlling recoil, okay? Number two, making micro adjustments in your aim, all right? So what that means is if the guy moves a little bit strafing, you're gonna want to be moving, you know, your target just, you know, very, very small. Like I'm not making big, long drags, okay? So all that does is it messes with the aim assist. Your aim assist isn't gonna stick. It only really sticks when you're moving strafing back and forth as you're shooting, okay? Now, it's very important to, like, whatever your favorite gun is, you want to find out the recoil pattern, okay? This is an XM4. It doesn't really have any, you know, recoil as it is, but this one, if I'm not controlling the recoil, it just goes like straight up. Pretty much straight up, all right? So now, if I'm going to, since it goes straight up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, you know, just barely pull down on my thumbstick, okay? And for me to figure out how much tension I have to put on the stick is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just push down on my thumbstick and figure out when it actually starts to move. See, right there, it's starting to move. That's how much pressure you want to put on your stick to control the recoil, okay? So, control the recoil now. Right in the same spot, okay? Now that I know the recoil pattern and how to control it, now I just have to put that same tension on the right stick every single time, okay? Same tension on the stick, right stick every single time, and remembering to strafe back and forth, okay? Left and right, left and right. There we go. The last thing I'm going to point out that's also like very important is what a lot of the pros do that not a lot of like casual players or players that are having trouble with their aim do is their centering is like top notch, okay? Their crosshair is always in the middle of the screen and it's always looking at center mass even before they aim down sights like this, okay? What a lot of players will do here is, you know what I mean, they're going to be hard scoping, you know, they're going to be switching from target here to here, you know what I mean? And especially like when they start shooting, they'll shoot and then they'll drag, you know, to this target over here, which is, it's not effective. It's super slow to aim down sights and shoot. You know what I mean? All the guy has to do is, if he's shooting at you and you're doing that, is, you know, a quick little slide, recenter his aim, and you're dead, right? So what you want to do is you want to make sure your crosshair is on center mass of your opponent even before you aim down sights. It's going to make it that much quicker, okay? What I mean by that is, you know, you're in the practice, you can practice here, then practice range, shooting range. Is you want your crosshair center mass, then I'm aiming. Center mass, aiming. Center mass, aiming, okay? What that does, it's not only does it reset your aim assist, so much quicker than dragging, okay? Than dragging. You don't want to do that. Super slow. Just by doing that step alone, you're going to be winning a lot more gunfights. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for the video. If you guys made it this far in the video, I really appreciate it. If you guys consider subscribing and liking, it's free. You know, it helps out a lot. This is my first time, you know, making a long form YouTube video. So hopefully I was able to, you know, explain this to you guys in a way that you can understand it. I know I had to watch a few videos, you know what I mean, just to kind of like comprehend it because my brain is like slow. It works like that. So again, hopefully I was able to explain this to you. If you guys have any questions, you know, please feel free to leave a comment, ask me any questions. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, I appreciate it. Until next time, peace.